Mars architecture, and what I really want to try to achieve here is to make Mars seem possible, make it seem as though it's something that we can do in our lifetimes, and that you can go. And is there really a way that anyone can go if they wanted to? I think that's really the important thing. So.
All right, thank you for having me. And I look forward to talking about the SpaceX Mars architecture. And what I really want to kind of achieve here is to make Mars seem possible. Make it seem as though it's something that we can do in our lifetimes and that you can go. And is there really a way that anyone can go if they wanted to? I think that's really the important thing. So I mean, first of all, why go anywhere, right? I think they're two fundamental paths. History is going to bifurcate along two directions. One path is we stay on Earth forever, and then there will be some eventual extinction event. I don't have an immediate doomsday prophecy, but history suggests there will be some doomsday event. What the alternative is to become a spacefaring civilization and a multi-planet species. Which I hope you would agree. That's the right way to go. Yeah? That's what we want! Yes? Yeah. So how do we figure out how to take you to Mars and can create a self-sustaining city? A city that's not really an outpost, but could become a planet in its own right. And for us, thus, we could become a truly multi-planet civilization. But, sometimes people wonder, well, what about other places in our solar system? Why Mars? Well, just to sort of put things into perspective for you, this is an actual scale of the solar system. We're currently in the third little rock from the left. That's Earth. Yeah, exactly. And our goal is to go to the fourth rock from the left. That's Mars. This gives you a real sense for a scale of the solar system, like how big the sun is, of Jupiter, Saturn, Neptune, Uranus. The little guys on the right are Pluto and friends. So this helps you see it. Not quite to scale, but it gives you a better sense for where things are. So our options, if we're going to become a multi-planet civilization, are limited. We have, in terms of nearby options, we have Venus, but Venus is high pressure, super high pressure, a hot acid bath. So that would be a tricky one. Venus is not at all like the goddess. This is in no way similar to the actual goddess, so that would be tricky. It would be very difficult to make things work on Venus. Mercury, way too close to the sun. We could potentially go to one of the moons of Jupiter or Saturn, but those are quite far out. Much farther from the sun, a lot harder to get to. So that only leaves us with one option if we want to become multiplanetary, and that's Mars! We could conceivably go to our moon, and I have nothing against going to the moon, but I think it's challenging to become multiplanetary on the moon because it's much smaller than a planet. It doesn't have any atmosphere, it's not as resource rich as Mars, it's got a 28-day day, whereas the Mars day, 24.5 hours. And in general, Mars is far better suited to ultimately scale up to become a self-sustaining civilization. Well, just to give you some comparison between the two planets, they're actually remarkably close in a lot of ways. In fact, we now believe that early Mars was a lot like Earth. And in fact, if we could just warm Mars up, we would once again have a thick atmosphere and liquid oceans. But where things are now, we're about a half a Venus far from the sun, as Earth, so still decent sunlight. It's a little cold, but we could warm it up. Has a very helpful atmosphere, where in the case of Mars being primarily CO2, Western nitrogen, argon, and a few other trace elements, means that we can grow plants on Mars! Just by compressing the atmosphere. And it has nitrogen too, which is also incredibly helpful for growing plants. It'd be quite fun to be on Mars, because you have gravity, which is about 37% that of Earth, so you can like lift heavy things and like bounce around and like have a lot of fun. Currently, we have 7 billion people on Earth, and 0 on Mars. The issue that we have today, well, in fact, the issue that we have today is that there is no way to go to Mars. In fact, you cannot go to Mars for infinite money. Using traditional methods. You know, in taking an Apollo-style approach. An optimistic cost number would be about $10 billion a person. For the Apollo program, the cost estimates are around $100 billion to $200 billion in current year dollars. And we sent 12 people to the surface of the moon, which was an incredible thing, and probably one of the greatest achievements of humanity, but that's a steep price to pay for a ticket. That's why these circles only barely just touch. So you can't create a self-sustaining civilization if the ticket price is $10 billion. What we need is to move these circles closer together. And if we could cut the cost of moving to Mars to be roughly the median house price in the US, which is $200,000. And I think the probability of establishing a self-sustaining civilization would be very high. I think it would almost certainly occur. Not everyone would want to go. In fact, I think a relatively small number of people from Earth would want to go, but enough would want to go, and who could afford the ticket price that, you know, I think it would happen. It gets to the point where almost anyone, if this was their goal and they saved up, they could ultimately save up enough money to buy a ticket and move to Mars. And Mars would not have a labor shortage for a long time, so jobs would not be in short supply, but I think it's a little difficult because we have to figure out how to improve the cost of moving to Mars by 5 million%. So not tricky. It's not easy. And it sounds virtually impossible. But I think there's ways to do it.
It's a full-flow stage combustion engine, which maximizes the theoretical momentum that you can get out of a given source, fuel, and oxidizer. We subcool the oxygen and methane to densify it. So, compared to when propellants are used close to their boiling points in most rockets, in our case, they actually load the propellants close to their freezing points, and that can result in a density improvement of up to around 10 to 12%, which makes an enormous difference in the actual results of the rocket. It gets rid of any cavitation risk for the turbo pumps, and it makes it easier to feed a high-pressure turbo pump if you have very cold propellant. So the rocket booster, in many ways, is really a scaled-up version of the Falcon 9 booster. You're going to see a lot of similarities, such as the grid fins obviously clustering, a lot of engines at the base. And the big difference, really being that the primary structure is advanced form carbon fiber. And that it's opposed to aluminum lithium. And we use autogeneous pressurization. And we get rid of helium and nitrogen. So this uses 42 Raptor engines, which is a lot of engines, but we use 9 on Falcon 9. And with Falcon Heavy, which should launch next year, there's 27 engines on the base. So we got pretty good experience with having a large number of engines. It also gives you redundancy, so that if some of the engines fail, you can still continue the mission and be fine. Oh, this chart's a little difficult to interpret at first. We decided to put it up there for people who want to watch the video afterwards, sort of take a closer look, analyze some of the numbers. The column on the left is probably what's most relevant, and that gives you trip time! So, depending on what Earth-Mars rendezvous you're aiming for, the trip time could be at 6 kilometers per second. Departure velocity can be as low as 80 days. I think that would obviously improve. And I suspect you'd see Mars transit time of as little as 30 days. So it's fairly manageable, considering the trips people used to take in the old days. They routinely take sailing voyages that would be 6 months or more. So to give you a sense of what it would feel like to actually be in the spaceship, in order to make it appealing and increase the portion of the Venn diagram where people actually want to go, it's got to be really fun and exciting, and it can't feel cramped or boring. So, the crew compartment is set up so that you can do zero-G games. You can float around. There'll be like movies, lecture halls, cabins, a restaurant. It'll be like really fun to go. You're gonna have a great time.
Hi everyone, right here, for you. It's very nice to meet you. My name is Aldo, and 3 weeks ago I was at Burning Man in the Nevada desert, and it felt like I was in Mars. It was a dusty storm, and it was really cold at night, and there was no water. But there was one problem at Burning Man. With a population of only 75,000, there was a lot of shit. And there was no water to take it into the rivers, which is kind of what we do today in our current sanitation system. So I was like, is this what Mars is going to be like? Just a dusty, waterless shitstorm?
Hi everyone, Lauren Grush from The Verge. The Mars architecture is supposed to serve as a backup plan for humanity, but you didn't touch much on how you will keep humans safe on the way over there from either deep space radiation or how they will live on the planet. Can you give us some insight into the life support systems, habitats, stuff like that?
Hi Elon, my name is Zach. I'm a space enthusiast and a local idiot for Rooster Teeth. And I was just wondering, can you talk a little bit about the future of humans in space? And are you going to go to Mars? Because I would hate to put in all this work and then not go.
Well, I think the first journeys to Mars are going to be really very dangerous. The risk of fatality will be high. There's just no way around it. So I would not suggest sending children or it would be basically, are you prepared to die? And that's okay? Then you know you're a candidate for going. But really this is less about, who goes there first. The thing that really matters is making a self-sustaining civilization on Mars as fast as possible. This is different from Apollo. This is really about minimizing existential risk and having a tremendous sense of adventure. I think the thing that Mars really represents, there's the whole life insurance and protecting life and ensuring the light of consciousness is not extinguished, which I agree is incredibly important. Backing up the biosphere. And to be clear, this is not about everyone moving to Mars. It's about becoming multiplanetary. I think Earth would be a good place for a long time. It's just the probability of human civilization surviving is greater for a multi-planet species. Now that's the defensive argument. But the argument I find most compelling is that it would be an incredible adventure. I think it would be one of the most inspiring things that I can possibly imagine. And life needs to be more than just solving problems every day. You need to wake up and be excited about the future and be inspired and want to live. Thank you.